Imagine stepping off a ship after a grueling journey across the Atlantic Ocean, expecting to greet your family, your friends, and your newborn granddaughter. But as you walk up to the settlement, there is only silence. No bodies, no signs of a struggle, just an empty, dismantled ghost town. In 1587, 115 men, women, and children completely vanished from Roanoke Island, leaving behind a terrifying mystery that has haunted historians for over 4 centuries. Welcome to the Past Unveiled. Today we are digging deep into the dark, forgotten soil of early America to uncover the chilling truth behind the Lost Colony of Roanoke. What really happened to these settlers? Were they massacred? Did they assimilate with native tribes? Or did something far more sinister drag them into the darkness? Our story begins with high hopes. The Roanoke colony was meant to be the first permanent English settlement in the New World. Led by a man named John White, the group arrived on the treacherous shores of modern-day North Carolina. They built houses, established farms, and even celebrated a massive milestone, the birth of Virginia Dare, John White's granddaughter, and the first English child born in America. But the New World was brutal. Supplies ran dangerously low, and tensions with the local native tribes were rising fast. They were starving, scared, and completely isolated. Desperate to save his family and his people, John White made an agonizing decision. He would sail back to England to gather food, weapons, and reinforcements, promising to return in just a few months. He hugged his newborn granddaughter goodbye, completely unaware that he would never see her or anyone else ever again. When White reached England, a massive war broke out. The Spanish Armada was attacking, and Queen Elizabeth ordered every single ship to stay and fight. White was trapped. Weeks turned into months, and months turned into 3 agonizing years. For 3 years, 115 people were left alone on the edge of the wilderness, waiting for a ship that never came. Finally, in the year 1590, John White made it back to Roanoke Island. As his ship approached the shore, he ordered his men to sing English folk songs, hoping to hear his family sing back from the trees. But the forest was dead silent. When he stepped foot inside the settlement, a cold dread washed over him. The colony wasn't just abandoned, it was meticulously dismantled. The houses had been taken down piece by piece. There was no ash, no burnt wood, and most importantly, no dead bodies. Before leaving, White had established a strict emergency protocol with the colonists. If they were forced to leave the settlement due to danger, they were supposed to carve a Maltese cross into a tree. White frantically searched the area for this distress signal. He found no cross, but he did find something else. Carved deeply into a wooden fence post was a single, cryptic word: CROATOAN, CROATOAN. And carved into a nearby tree were the letters CRO. What did it mean? Croatoan was the name of a nearby island, located about 50 miles south, which was home to a friendly Native American tribe. It seemed like a clear message. They had relocated to seek shelter with the natives. White was relieved. He immediately prepared to sail south to Croatoan Island to reunite with his family. But the ocean had other plans. A massive hurricane struck the coast. The storm battered White's ships so violently that the crew threatened a mutiny if they didn't turn back. Heartbroken, defeated, and out of options, John White was forced to sail back to England, abandoning his family to the unknown. He died years later, never knowing their fate. But what if the colony was doomed before they even built their first house? Historical records reveal a dark secret that mainstream history often ignores. The settlers were never supposed to land on Roanoke Island. Their original, planned destination was the much safer and resourceful Chesapeake Bay. But the fleet's pilot, a man named Simon Fernandez, suddenly forced everyone off the ship at Roanoke, leaving them stranded, and sailed away. Why would he do this? Was he just in a hurry to go hunt Spanish treasure ships? Or was there a darker conspiracy at play? Back in England, Sir Walter Raleigh, the man who funded the expedition, had many powerful political enemies in Queen Elizabeth's court. Some modern historians believe Fernandez was bribed to drop the colonists in a hostile, barren wasteland, ensuring they would never survive. They weren't just lost, they might have been intentionally murdered by their own government. So, what actually happened? Mainstream historians have argued for decades that the colonists simply moved to Croatoan Island and blended in with the native tribe. Over the centuries, European explorers reported seeing Native Americans in that region with blue eyes and blonde hair, suggesting the DNA of the colonists lived on. But not everyone buys the peaceful assimilation theory. Some historians point to a darker possibility, a massacre. The Powhatan tribe, a powerful and aggressive confederacy in the region, later claimed to have slaughtered a group of white settlers who lived near Roanoke. Did the colonists wander into the wrong territory while looking for food, only to be wiped out entirely? And then there are the Dare stones. In the 1930s, a series of carved stones were discovered across the American South. The first stone appeared to be a desperate message written by Eleanor Dare, John White's daughter. The carved message claimed that the colony had suffered from disease and a violent native attack, leaving only 7 survivors. While most scholars later dismissed the Dare stones as an elaborate hoax, the first stone is still considered by some experts to be a genuine, chilling artifact from the lost colonists. And then there are the theories that completely defy logic. To some local indigenous tribes, the word Croatoan wasn't just a place. In deep Native American folklore, Croatoan was an entity, a dark spirit of the forest that could harvest human souls and trap them between worlds. Even the famous horror writer Edgar Allan Poe was reportedly obsessed with the dark energy of this word, keeping it written in his personal journals. According to local legends, if you walk through the dense woods of Roanoke Island at night, you can still hear the sound of a baby crying in the wind, or see the ghostly figures of 16th century European women standing silently behind the trees. Did the settlers simply starve from bad weather? Did they merge with a local tribe? Or did they awaken something ancient, hungry, and terrifying in the untouched American wilderness? Today, modern technology is finally piercing the veil of the Roanoke mystery. Using advanced satellite imagery and ground-penetrating radar, archaeologists have discovered buried anomalies beneath the soil near both Croatoan Island and a site called Site X. They have unearthed English pottery, 16th century weapons, and metal tools hidden deep in native villages. This suggests that the colonists didn't just stay in one place. They likely split up into smaller factions. Some died of disease, some were likely killed, and some survived by joining the indigenous tribes, their identities slowly fading away into the dense American wilderness. The 115 souls of Roanoke didn't vanish into thin air. They were swallowed by the New World. The lost colony remains a haunting reminder of how fragile human life is, and how quickly nature can erase our existence. What do you think happened to the settlers of Roanoke? Did they survive, or were they doomed from the start? Let us know your theories in the comments below. If you want to keep unraveling the darkest secrets of history, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Until next time, keep digging, because the past is never truly buried. Before we close the book on Roanoke, there's one chilling legend locals still whisper about: the legend of the White Doe. The story claims Virginia Dare, the first English child born here, never died. Instead, a jealous shaman used dark magic to curse her, transforming her into a ghostly white doe. She roamed these dense forests until she was finally struck by a silver arrow. Even today, locals swear that if you stand in the woods at sunset, you can still see the glowing silhouette of a white doe staring at you from the shadows. Is her restless spirit still trapped here? If this mystery gave you chills, hit that like button and subscribe for more dark history. Keep digging.